So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off by doing a little bit of prospecting with a nymph. I'll probably use a shrimp. I'm going to start from the bridge, work my way up. If I don't get any offers up here, I shall continue on through, all the way through, past this willow and go into this deeper water ahead of me. One of the things about chalk streams, it's very difficult to assess the depth. They look shallow, but when you step in, you get the shock of your life. So by that tree up there, it's probably 5 feet deep. A really ideal spot for a big trout. Well, having got in the water, this run is in fact deeper than I thought. In fact, if I step out there another yard, I'm going to be quite deep. But anyway, this is okay now. I can go. I'm well positioned to go up the side of this Ranunculus. You can't sight fish this turbulent water. You've got to fish it blind, watching your minicon, or as Sawyer did, a greased up leader. And I've put some floatant, some grease on the minicon, so that's a nice sight indicator. And I'm just letting it go down this clear channel between the Ranunculus. There's an area over there where I can also drop the shrimp. The trouble is, if I go across current, I'm going to get a lot of bow in my line and it's going to tug it out. If I went across to that area over there, I'd probably only stay in there for yes, and here's a fish. I was just going to say I wouldn't be in there long before I got dragged, but again, a fish nailed it before it dragged. And there's a trout. Come on, don't get in that way, that's better. You can go under the weed, under the bridge if you want. And that was fairly instantaneous. Took the shrimp very, very quickly. Lovely marked fish, really brown fish. Of course, it's in the fastest of the current. That's better, that's where I want you. Right, straight into the net. This is a nice fish. Firmly hooked in the scissors. And there he is. A little bit lean, but quite fit. There you go. So that was a bit of quick success with the shrimp. If I wanted to fish that soft spot from square across, I've got all sorts of problems. Look at the fast current here. Pulling that straight out, I'm going to plunge my fly straight into the Ranunculus. Very, very tricky spot to fish from here. So what I've got to do, if I were to fish it from here, I'd have to drop the fly in, and I'd have to use a series of mends to get that fly to drift down there without too much drag. It's still not as good as an upstream presentation. So you drop it in, put a big mend in immediately, and mend again, and mend again. And you're not going to get as smooth a run as you are when you come directly upstream for it. Just drop it over into this slack bay. There's a fish moved over there. It's really getting pulled out by this fast tongue of water. So it's a bit of a hopeless shot, but it's worked before. Yep. And he's on. And he's a better fish. And he's going under that tree. He knows where his home is. Oh yes. And he's going back to where he were hooked. These wild fish are far stronger than your stockies. When you've got a good fish on, it's all too easy at the last minute to lose a fish by going into blind panic. Make sure the fish is ready for the net before you try netting him. And these haven fish are quite chunky, even though they don't look long. They've got some girth on them and they're hefty. Now he's not a 2-pounder, but he's a strong fish, and I'm only fishing a 2-pound point. Hooking is an inexact science, so I don't know how well he's hooked. You can see this fish is entirely different to a stocky. A stocky would have been in the net ages ago. So he's really digging deep, is this fish. He knows every trick in the book. He knows where to go. He's streetwise. Every time he sees me, he's away. I'm not playing with it. Look at the bend in that rod. I'm laying into the fish. You're either going to lose them or get them at this stage, so you can't start stabbing with the net. He's just kiting below me using the current. And I've got maximum strain on. He's got his head down, he's digging for the bottom. Now he's got his head to the top. Stick the net in. Draw him over the net. So he's still plenty of fight in him. He's a thick-set fish. Look at that. After a minute, he's still bending that foreweight over. Can you imagine a 4-pounder in this river? Every time he sees me, he finds energy from somewhere. He's mine now. Well, that's a grand fish, is that? He's hefty, he's probably £1.25, I'd say. I'll slip him back. Hold him into the current, let his gills pump, and away he goes. Well, that were a strong fish. That's as strong a fish as I've had for many a month. Very, very strong fish. Well, that were good. That were good. I wonder if there's another lurking over there somewhere.